Hello, good afternoon, you guys, and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. So make sure you guys please just like, share, subscribe, comment, and all of those wonderful things. Okay. You guys, they done went and got the juror in the Govan's case, child. They don't went. Child. They listen. They pulling out. They ain't got no stops. Okay, they pulling out all stops as it comes to this. They done went and got the juror in the Govan's case, and they're saying that the jury foreman who helped to acquit Govan office says they're not surprised. He was only acquitted because okay, my puppy making me lose my train of thought because he was overcharged.
He was a player in the game, but the mastermind.
Okay, he just said he was a player in the game. Let's go back.
Felt that he was a player in the game, but the mastermind level stuff. That was a stretch, in our opinion.
You were listening to one of the jurors who played a role in the clearing of a man for murder of the Memphis rapper Young Dolph case. He's talking about Hernandezgovan. He was acquitted less than a year ago after being the so-called mastermind behind Dolph's killing. Well, tonight, Govan is back in jail on now new charges. Fox 13's Kayla Solomon talked to that juror about these new charges.
Hernandezgovan is back in handcuffs, this time for a federal charge of cyberstalking. This is less than 1 year after he was acquitted for murder by a Shelby County jury. And for the first time, we're hearing from the foreperson. Out of fear of retaliation, Fox 13 will not be identifying this person.
A trial is beyond reasonable doubt, right? You have to be beyond reasonable doubt, and there were enough holes in it.
August 2025, Hernandezgovan was found not guilty of murder. State prosecutors said he organized the shooting death of Memphis rapper Young Dolph. Fox 13 spoke to the jury foreman, who said the verdict was not guilty because they felt Govan was overcharged.
He felt that he was a player in the game, but the mastermind level stuff, that was a stretch, in our opinion.
But now, Govan is back in jail. The state charges are stalking and harassment, but he was also picked up on a federal charge of cyberstalking.
There's no surprise that guy found himself on the wrong side of the law again. I figured it'd be a matter of time.
Federal court documents show it's all related to a dispute between Govan and an ex-girlfriend that started over $540. But a federal agent says during a phone conversation, Govan threatened to shoot up her home. In one text, Govan allegedly told her the National Guard can't watch her house all day, LOL. Then he threatened to post sexually explicit photos and videos on social media of the victim. Another text, Govan allegedly told her, "I'm bigger than the devil." The former juror says he found none of it surprising.
I just equate that to that's the life, that he chose.
No trial date set at this time for this new.
Okay. Now, basically, they did what they had to do. Okay. Their instructions is if there is reasonable doubt, then acquit. Okay, so they definitely found him not guilty. He's saying that Manny poked enough holes in the prosecution. The prosecution wasn't tight. They weren't tight or right. Okay, they didn't back up their witnesses because they didn't do the research. They didn't call Manny out on the lies. Manny was able to twist the lies. They didn't do anything. Okay, so they did only what they could do. And that was, find him not guilty based on the prosecution not doing their job. I told y'all, just because a person they find you not guilty doesn't mean that you're innocent. That's just reasonable doubt. And he's saying, of course, we always felt like he was a player in the game. But because they was waiting because they was gonna get Jook, but they was waiting to get Gotti and whoever these other folks. They knew leaving Jook out would connect them to that. Okay, it did make it look like that they was trying to set Govan up. Okay, that even though they weren't, that's how it made it look. Okay, and so now they done went and got the jurors. The juror now he gonna have to go before another jury. And I see what they're doing. They going to get the jury. Hey, whoever it is, I don't want to put too much out there because I believe man are gonna come back and see what they do is the smart people like me. They look at these vlogs, okay, and I feel like I said a little bit too much before, and it gave them the opportunity to strategize, and it gave them good ideas, okay. Manny didn't know anything about the Shelby County criminal justice system, but now I will say this to Manny: you ain't gonna go up in their plan, not up in the federal court. That's a whole different ball game, and you better know they've been watching him and they have been preparing for this, and they are prepared for Manny. That is why that other attorney is gonna call Manny in, okay? Because they prepare for him. They're gonna send him back to Atlanta with his tail wagging between his legs, okay? So this is interesting. It is definitely interesting. So hey, listen, I'm not surprised by any of this. Okay. Listen, they working to ensure that whatever it is that's coming, it ain't it ain't gonna be, they're putting everything into, I think it's some stuff going on in the behind the scenes that is going to ensure that they go ahead and just, what do you call it, bucket this. I'm talking about just get everybody. Okay. I do. I believe that. So, they done went and got the juror. So you go get the juror, you let him, he on there. He's saying that we knew he was guilty. He was just overcharged. They didn't give him the right charges. We knew he was a player in the game. Okay. So y'all really think that another jury is going to find him not guilty? Abso-freaking-lutely not. Okay. So what's getting ready to happen is I think they need 2 months so that by the time August come and he go to court, they're gonna drop something else on him. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. And that's when I said this before, all the roaches, so we're gonna turn the light on. Oh, the roaches gonna start coming from out of the dark. Okay, all the roaches get ready to start coming from out of the dark. So, like I said, y'all, this is interesting within itself. They probably gonna go get some more people. They definitely doing what they need to do. Okay, and listen, Govan is one of those ones that don't have an issue when the fingers are pointed at him. He don't have an issue with redirecting the finger at the person that actually did it. So I think with the help of Govan, I don't, because Govan is not happy with a lot of his people he thought were his friends. He talked a lot about that. He's not happy. So for whatever reasons, you heard his friend the truth say he don't know why Govan has turned on them. Who knows? Who knows? But I think that he's going to take some people down. It's a lot of dirt out there. And listen, I feel like Govan is this is how manipulative Govan is. I believe Govan, he's cunning enough to get people to pull him in. That's my brother, that's my nephew, I love him. And then he get them to do dirt for him, right? And then once they do dirt for him, okay, he's crafty enough to have that leverage. And once they cross him, he put out there, just listen, I'm thinking about, I went looking for that video when he said that Teasy was killed by friendly fire, that didn't know ops killed Teasy, it was his friends. His dimple was showing when he said that. He said it just as calmly with, you know, he had a smile on his face. It wasn't a smirk. It was just calm, just like I am right now, right? It was just calm. And I was like, I wonder if anybody caught that. But Cypress was on there. Y'all, Cypress was on it. Like, it was just as calm. He said Teaser wasn't killed by ops. He was killed by, it was friendly fire. And then he buttoned his mouth and smiled, and dimple showed. You could see his dimple. And he said, yeah, it was friendly fire. He was killed by his friends, people he knew. And it was just passive, and he went on to the next thing. I mean, it's just like, I don't know if he was high or what, but it was just like you and I, like I'm talking right now, like you and I will be, or you and somebody else will be having a calm conversation. It was, and just on to the next thing. Wasn't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Okay. So, whoo, child. They done went and got the juror. And yeah, I'm telling you, it's probably get ready to be a lot of cases solved. Listen, hey, maybe a lot of people would do it, you know. He feel like folks turn their back on him, and he getting ready to lay the law down. Even if people did things to help him, he's getting ready to just to get them messed over. So if they, you know, if he feels like they've done something that they shouldn't, because he speak about a lot of people turn their back on him. Okay. So I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about that. I ain't gonna do no more videos for the day. I got to finish my schoolwork. But anyways, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.